Hello, this is Mr. Evilcheese.
And I am a zombie cat.
This is our review of the ZC Toys Walking Dead 6-scale Negan action figure. And this is, I guess it's an unofficial Walking Dead figure. And we've said this in other videos. I don't know how they get away with this, but it happens all the time. There's always unlicensed, like, popular characters coming out, and I don't know, I don't know if they're just allowed to do it or they're just getting away with it. Whatever. But before 3-0 announced that they were making a Negan, I seen this on eBay and I pre-ordered it. And then 3-0 announced theirs and I'm like, oh, I should probably cancel this. But then I was thinking, well, this is going to come out way, way, way before 3-0 one does. And maybe it will be pretty cool. But yeah, I know, like with these knockoff figures, they're usually not as good as like an official figure. Usually not. And you kind of expect that. Likeness might be off more than you would expect and other things. And I thought about canceling it, but I think it's a little harder to cancel things on eBay, so I just figured, oh, if I don't like it, I'll sell it. But whatever, we got it now, so we're going to review it. I mean, some of them are really awesome. Like we got the blade. There's like a knockoff blade, but man, it looks really good. Well, here's the package. It actually says Walking Dead on it, which a lot of times these knockoffs will say something strange. Like I could see them saying zombie killing Batman, or not Batman, but zombie killing Bat Guy or something like that. Like just weird.
What did the Mad Max one say? I don't remember.
Oh, it was like, was it like Angry Driver? Or...
It was something weird.
Yeah, it was. There's two different knockoffs of the Mad Max Fury Road, and they had weird names like Angry or Crazy Driver. Or I can't remember what they called it. It was just weird. A Wasteland Ranger, that's what it was.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The one we got was Wasteland Ranger, and I think the other one that they made was like something Driver.
Angry Driver.
I think it might have been like Crazy. I don't know. Something. But this actually says Walking Dead on it. Doesn't say his name. Doesn't actually say Negan. But it's by ZC Toys. And let's open this up.
Maybe they were able to get away with it because it's just Walking Dead and not The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Because it's like a well-used term, they were able to use it.
Yeah. I really think, though, if Walking Dead or AMC wanted to do something about this, I'm sure they would win. I mean, that's definitely Negan.
Yeah, it's obvious.
So when you take off the lid, you got the little foam there, and there's the figure stuck in there. You can see it comes with multiple hands. It comes with 2 Lucille's, and I think the difference is one is slightly bloody. I don't know why there's extra hands back in there too. Maybe they added them last minute.
I do know.
But yeah, let's get him out of there. All right, there he is, opened up. Now you can see his accessories. He's got 2 Lucille's, and you can see there, this one's a little bit bloody. Not very much. I think I might throw some more blood in there if I end up keeping this. But they look fairly decent. I don't know how much better the 3-0 one will look. There's not a lot of spikes on this, but I mean...
Is that wire real metal? Because it kind of felt like it.
Yeah, it's real metal.
I thought so.
I think it looks pretty good. I mean, it's not completely accurate.
Perfect,
yeah,
but it's cool.
Mm-hmm. The bat looks pretty decent. Pretty cool. Then it comes with multiple hands. And this is asking Zombie Cat because I couldn't remember, but I thought he only wore the glove on this hand.
I don't know. It's like Chris Hardwick, but like 15 years older and cosplaying as Negan.
Yeah. But if you compare this to 3-0's Negan, I think their Negan's much better. And I think out of Rick, assuming that 3-0's will look as good as the pictures, I think their Negan will look more accurate than their Merle or Rick did. And I think this kind of looks like how I would expect 3-0's to look, a little bit off. But 3-0 is actually doing a really good job on theirs, I think, assuming that it ends up looking like the preview pictures.
Well, Merle was really close. They just made the top of his head too big.
Yeah, he was. Merle was pretty awesome. I really like that figure.
One thing that I'm noticing about him is that I don't really like the way they did his handkerchief or scarf or whatever you want to call it. But I'm pretty sure if you take it off, he's gonna look funny.
Well, you could probably mess with it. That's awesome. But you know it's not him.
But if the guy walked up and said, "Hey, I'm Jeffrey Dean Morgan," you'd be like, "No, you're fucking not."
You just look a lot like him. In
Like,
certain
you look
ways.
really good, dude, but not good enough to make me think you're him.
Yeah. Maybe a little kid would be like, "That's him!" Because little kids just don't.
They're dumb.
Yeah. But I do like this leather jacket, so.
I really like the jacket and the boots.
Yeah.
The boots are nice.
So, like, partly like what Fu was saying, I might, if we keep this and we get the 3-0 one, I might use these for something else. Because we did want a leather jacket for Bunk Zombie.
Yeah, that would be cool. I didn't even think of that. I pictured him more of a vest, though.
Yeah, I cut the sleeves off. So there he is holding the bat. And I'm just saying, I think the bat is just a tiny bit too big. It looks too, I don't know, I think it's too big.
You're making him smack himself in the face.
Yeah, his wrist is loose. But it is cool that he's got double joint. You can get the bat over his shoulder. So that's cool. And, I mean, once you get the bat in his hand, it is cool having a 6 scale Negan, even if it isn't perfect.
Yeah, like, I definitely want a better one at some point, but he's still pretty cool.
Yeah. So I was thinking about reviewing him and selling him, but I might just keep him.
Plus, even if we don't keep him as is, we're starting to make plans for his pieces.
Yeah.
I really like the idea of using that jacket for the punk zombie.
I switched his hand to put on a non-gloved hand because we looked up pictures and every one we've seen, he only has a glove on this hand.
Or neither hand.
Yeah.
Actually, the only picture I found with gloves on both hands was a picture from the comic.
Yeah, so we're going to keep the gloves off of this hand. But let's look at his face. I mean, you can definitely tell that they were going for Jeffrey Dean Morgan because they got a lot of his features in there. Like his smile and wrinkles around his eyes and just the general shape of his head does look like they were going for Jeffrey Dean Morgan. It's just off a little bit. Or a lot of bit.
Well, part of it is also the fact that his hair's not the right color.
Yeah, it should be dark.
Should
darker
be
than this.
black, not brown, basically. And his beard, they just kind of made the middle a little bit lighter instead of making it like white.
But I mean, if you look at this moving around, you could definitely see him in there a little bit. It's kind of like that 3-0's Rick figure. Like you just turn it from different angles and you can see the actor in there, but it's just not completely right. Like if Hot Toys did it, they would probably have a little more exact. But it's just a little odd.
Bigger than they should be, but they're kind of gigantic.
Yeah, well, I think that's so they could still work. I think that's the whole point, is to make a metal and working. And
Yeah, but the pockets...
yeah, they don't need
the main
to.
zipper needs to work, but the pockets don't need to fucking work.
No,
Who
they
cares?
don't. They should have just sculpted them on or something.
And one issue that I've noticed with him overall with the whole outfit is that they don't really seem to have tried to do any wear and tear on it.
No.
I mean, he's in the fucking apocalypse.
But in their defense, Negan doesn't look that bad in the show. Doesn't look so like his clothes are that worn.
He doesn't look filthy, but he looks like he picked up random shit that is not perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he looks like his pants were pressed this morning and they're just a little bit wrinkly now.
Yeah.
And he's wearing a brand new leather jacket.
Well, if we do keep the thing crazy with the 3-0 one that's coming out, is you get a bat that's already wired, and then you also get a blank bat with some wire, and you can do it yourself if you think you can do it better, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I didn't know that.
And I'm not sure if I could do it better, but if theirs looks crappy, I might try. And like we said, the only difference between this one is there's some blood on it. There's some blood on the wire, some blood splatter on the actual bat, and I kind of wish there was more.
Yeah, there's not very much blood. Like, you have to look at it close to tell.
Yeah. I do like that this one's got the spikes right in the end. This one doesn't. Although the spikes are too big, but Now, originally, when this figure was first shown, his jacket was pretty much always zipped up. But for whatever reason, the more recent pictures, they have it unzipped. I don't know if that has something to do with 3 Zeros releasing. Like they want to make it look different in some way. But I guess we'll just unzip it so you can see his white shirt. Yeah, there's that is really bright white.
That's way too clean.
But his shirt, when he took his jacket off, his shirt was pretty clean looking on the show.
I don't think it was like blazingly white clean though.
Maybe not. But that's cool that you can do that. I wouldn't recommend taking the jacket off though, because his skin under here is not meant to be seen.
It don't match.
No. Just look at some of his other hands. He's got like a pointing hand, which is cool. Relaxed gloved hand, which is cool. Shut up. And these are some of the hands for his other arm. I kind of wish they had this hand for his left hand, or I mean his right hand, because like we said, he doesn't really wear gloves on that hand over.
Just stick it on the wrong arm.
Good. Well, I was just thinking you could also have him have 2 Lucille's at once.
Going to get you.
Be like, that'd be funny if in the show he had 2 Lucille's and he's just like boom, 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 and somebody said,
Like a caveman or something.
or you put them both in one hand. Should be.
That reminds me of the picture of you holding all your bats.
Yeah. Be like Babe Ruth getting ready. Now, as for articulation, it's going to be the usual 6 scale articulation, which there's usually not a whole lot of difference. It's usually just what he's wearing might restrict him in some areas. But I don't think his clothes are really going to restrict him much, because even the leather jacket allows for lots of movement.
Well, it might restrict it a little bit more if it was zipped.
Maybe. But, yeah, you can see there's lots of movement. The pants are pretty loose, so I'm guessing that there's probably not going to be much restriction.